Ottawa, the backdrop for the two games around the National this Wednesday. Welcome into On the Fly. I'm Alexa Landestoy. Mike Johnson will join me shortly. All eyes are on KeyBank Arena as the New York Rangers travel to Buffalo to take on the Sabres, coming off back-to-back losses at home to the Kraken and the Blackhawks. It's been a tough stretch for the Blue Shirts, dropping 8 of their last 10 games and allowing 40 goals during that span. Their opponent looking to get out of a skid of their own. The Sabres winless in their last 7. So who will head in the right direction? To the highlights we go.
It is a chilly December night, downtown Buffalo. Rangers and Sabres, two teams equally desperate for a win tonight. An interference call going against the Buffalo Sabres. Not cleared. There's an opportunity there for Power. Couldn't get it out. Panarin across the Zibanejad, and he scores! Mika Zibanejad on the power play. It took just 8 seconds from the faceoff.
Boy, he needs that one as well. You know, the confidence certainly has waned a little bit for number 93.
Zibanejad's 300th career goal. Incredible.
Deflected to Lafreniere. Mancini wrist shot, just missed, bounced in front. It couldn't be tapped home with a crowd right around the crease.
The first keep-in went off the skate of Panarin. Otherwise, and I know Lindy Ruff's going to talk about that. Look how close that one is right there. But Lindy Ruff has got to be displeased with the fact that pucks have got to get out of the zone. Oh my goodness, what an angle that was.
To stop that dump in with his leg. Here's a turnover, and Luukkonen rescues the Sabres on the try from Chris Kreider.
What a save. What a save. Power trying to reverse right here, takes a hit, but the reverse wasn't there. That's a lack of communication behind that net. But they get bailed out by their goaltender right here with the left hand.
Couldn't come up with the puck though. Greenway, McLeod trying to stay onside. Greenway shot stopped by Shesterkin, and then Greenway barreled over Lindgren on his way to the net. And a few extra blows of the whistles from the officials.
To the one-on-one, right here, there you see, he's trying to push it ahead, and it was close to being offside. Now he runs out of options right there. The Rangers come back. Trocheck's got the option on the other side.
Power able to collect that puck. Power, wrist shot to the net, glove held. Shesterkin a little feisty in front, and a crowd will gather as a result.
And again, it's Benson in front of the net. And here's Benson in front of the net. And, gives him a little shove at boy. Shesterkin gave it back to Benson, but he hangs around right there. And now a chance to extend this lead for the New York Rangers.
Ryder blew a tire. McLeod will chip it along. Foot race here. Connor Clifton gets there, cuts back, shoots off the post. A shorthanded chance for the D-man, Connor Clifton. Draws iron, and it stays out. Aaron nudges this one down into the Buffalo zone. Aube-Kubel put a shoulder into Trocheck, gets up, goes across Jeff, those two battling, gloves off. Aube-Kubel and Vinny Trocheck started with a hit, ends with a fight. That's Dion Dawkins of the Buffalo Bills here in attendance.
He's loving it.
Well, Carrick for Fox. Adam Fox with a shot that was blocked by Byram, and it backed in! Riley Smith put it off the Sabre and into the open net off the back wall. And the Rangers get a bounce and take a 2-0 lead late.
Off the Sabres and in the net. This puck is bouncing like crazy right here. And it goes right off of Power and into the net.
Sabres looking to get back within one. Power, his shot scores! Inside the final 5, Owen Power puts the Buffalo Sabres right back in it. Trocheck, again, one of the best in the league, winning, and Fox to the empty net, bullseye! From a few feet off his own goal line, and the first of the year for Adam Fox.
Disappointing for Buffalo, and it was lost by Krebs cleanly.
The Sabres outshot the Rangers 16-5 in the third period, but Igor Shesterkin made just enough saves to pick up his 10th win of the season. Shesterkin stopped 29 of 31 shots overall and has a .931 save percentage on the road this season. That's third best among goalies with at least 5 road starts. That's good news for New York, who will play 6 of its next 8 away from home. As we welcome in Mike Johnson. Mike, great to see you again. Let's start the conversation here with Igor Shesterkin, fresh off of the brand new contract. Got to feel good for him to have a great performance on the ice.
The single easiest, the most obvious way for the New York Rangers to right the ship is for Igor Shesterkin to play like the best goalie in the world. And part of the reality is when you commit the kind of money that they have committed to Shesterkin, he has to play that well. The expectation, he's got to be one of the best goalies and consistently excellent all the time. You're going to build your team around knowing that much is committed in net, so he's going to have to make up the difference of what's not available positionally. And when he's on top of his game, like he was against Buffalo, he makes everything seem easier. Everyone feels a bit more comfortable. When you make a mistake, it doesn't get in the back of your net. You feel that much better about yourself. He can settle everything down. He is good enough on his own without any other changes to make the New York Rangers a winning team again. Sure, that's a lot of pressure, but guess what? You're the highest paid goalie in the league, or you're going to be. That's the pressure that comes along with that kind of commitment. So he was fantastic, and he'll have to continue to be so.
Well, a lot of pressure on him, but a lot of pressure on the New York Rangers to get this win in Buffalo. It was a tough weekend at Madison Square Garden. Could this spur them going forward now?
So this is Buffalo, so we're not going to put the cart before the horse just
yet.
Chicago,
but yeah.
Baby steps, right?
Okay.
So, it's a positive they did win, but I'm not so sure that they played so well that they'd come saying, you know what, we got it. We got it figured out. We do that again, we'll be fine. You look at their upcoming schedule, you mentioned the amount of road games they have, but look at the quality of the opponents. They have the Preds in there, but other than that, that's a whole bunch of teams that are near the top of the league. So you're not going to get away with the kind of game they played against the Buffalo Sabres against those teams and pick up points. Just will not happen for them. So that's going to be an issue for the New York Rangers. They're going to have to continue to clean up defensively, continue to get better 5-on-5, get that power play cooking once again, get Shesterkin playing really well. But what winning does is it just lets everyone breathe for a day. I mean, it's been so loud and so turbulent. Just for the day, you got to win like 3 or 4 in a row, and then everyone could take a couple days. But right now, it's a day-to-day existence for the New York Rangers. They won against the Sabres. They'll show up tomorrow. They can smile. They can feel good about themselves, knowing that the challenge is going to be there. And the hole they've dug themselves, maybe a little bit in the standings, but also just with how they've played, is not yet finished. They still have to work to get out of it.
One day at a time, and the confidence will build from there. Well, the Buffalo Sabres are hoping to do the same thing. They've now dropped their last 8 games with the loss here on Wednesday. What's the status in Buffalo for you?
Well, I mean, both teams came into the game the same sort of way. Whoever lost, it was going to be a 5-alarm blaze, and that's what it is right now in Buffalo. 5-game homestand. They lost all 5. Never happened before in franchise history. They played well in the third period, but you can't play well just for 20 minutes and expect to win games in the NHL, regardless of who you're playing. You got to be better than that. And so you start thinking it's, at this point, the Sabres, who planned on being more competitive this year, planned on trying to make the playoffs. It looks like they're not going that direction. What gives? Is it the players? They've already changed the coach so many times. Kevin Adams, who, full disclosure, former teammate of mine, I like him very much. He's on an incredibly hot seat right now. They're chanting fire Kevin Adams at games. It's a toxic sort of environment. They need wins to come out of it. They're trying everything. Lindy Ruff canceling morning skate to try to rest guys up. They're videotaping practice and breaking down practice plays like they would game film. They are trying every trick in the book and something we've never heard of to try to light a fire on this team. And it's just not taking. First 2 periods of this game is pretty quiet. Not a lot of action going on there. And it makes you wonder what has to happen, because something's going to happen. Buffalo is too good of a market with too many passionate fans that care too much to put up with this for as long as they have. And something's got to give. And unfortunately, given the amount of coaches, Lindy Ruff is brand new. There's only so much you can do with a roster. I don't know if Kevin Adams, something has to give. And you start going down the things that can happen. The general manager might be one of those next things that may have to go, because it's not good right now in Buffalo. And the atmosphere around the club with the fans is pretty messy right now, and it's going to take a bit to get out of it.
Tough conversations to be had, and you saw their schedule doesn't get much easier here the rest of the way.
When you're at the bottom of the league, schedule always looks tough.
Yeah, you're right. It's all daunting. Just one day at a time, build that confidence. That's what they're going to try to do in Buffalo. Well, time for our first TV timeout, but coming up next, the Ottawa Senators scored early and often as they wrapped up their 4-game homestand against the Ducks. Highlight from that, plus much more when we return.
This is the story of the one. The one knows that when the big game is days away, the unexpected can put everything on the line. But with a solid game plan and a teammate like Grainger that she can rely on to deliver the product she needs when she needs it, she's confident that she will always win the day. And her team will do the same. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is your car's plastic trim faded and milky? Don't worry. Cerakote's ceramic trim coat restores oxidized trim effortlessly. Just wipe it on. It's guaranteed for 200 washes. Even dust won't stick to it. Keep your car looking professional. Selling your oxidized, faded trim car? Detailed cars sell for way more than faded cars. Read the thousands of 5-star reviews for yourself. Buy any of Cerakote's #1 selling ceramic products for under $20 at these leading retailers today.
When it comes to gifts, they say it's the thought that counts. Sure, but only if those thoughts are utterly unexpected. Uncommon Goods takes your thoughtful thoughts and turns them into brilliant ideas. A magic light. Oh, how about an entire light show? A time capsule, a fireside chat, a fantastic voyage, a special snowflake. Oh, you get the idea. The brilliant one. This season, find that special something for that special someone. Visit uncommongoods.com, where we're all out of the ordinary.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20. Go to DealDash.com and see how much you can save.
Welcome to our most exciting holiday season yet, where every shopping moment feels like a win. Discover the perfect pair and score amazing deals, all from the comfort of your phone. This holiday season, join the millions who already know. Go all in with StockX.
Follow Coach Neil Henderson and his Washington, D.C. youth hockey program, where he teaches more than just skills on the ice.
I guarantee you there's no other hockey club like Fort DuPont.
The Cannons, Brothers on Ice, Monday, 7 Eastern, on NHL Network.
Shabbat goes around the goal with it. Thomas Shabbat cycles it out for Jensen with a shot, hits it through, scores! Noah Gregor buries it, and Ottawa gets the opening goal.
Shabbat joins the offense. When your defense join the offense down below, it makes it difficult for the reads to be picked up in the defensive zone because there's an extra guy down below the goal line. And at the end of the day, it's Gregor coming along the front of the net. He's the recipient of a nice rebound off the pads of Gibson. Good penalty killing by the Ottawa Senators. And now they get to look at this solid power play at home. Over 30% is going to go to work here.
And they might get a 5-on-3 here as this one goes over the glass. They're going to discuss it.
Anaheim, number 7. 2-minute minor penalty, delayed game, shooting the puck over the glass.
Sanderson on it. Fans getting a little impatient. Stützle got it across. Is it in? Gibson's down. And the puck is underneath him. The question is where Tkachuk thinks it's in.
Drew thinks it's in as well.
Drew thinks
he
it's
came
in.
over and said, that's it. And they're coming to the bench like they're celebrating. And I believe this thing looked like it went in. Unless they have a better look at it somewhere else, I don't see how you see this puck cross the line.
And it was not called a goal on the ice. So you have to have conclusive evidence. Here we go. Here's the NHL angle from the crossbar camera.
Right there. Yeah, you can see it there now. There's a little crack between the top of the catching mitt and his pant leg.
Oh, there's the puck.
And then you can see the puck right here.
Here's Kendrick Nicholson.
After video review, it was determined that the puck does completely cross the goal line.
And Drake Batherson, it took a little while to confirm it, but with that, he's got the power play goal for his 100th career goal. Norris hands it off for Tkachuk. Took the shot, stopped by Gibson, rebound, and he banks it in. Drake Batherson with the deflection is second of the night, and it's 3-0 Ottawa.
Well, John Gibson, shake his head. It is not his fault. They have been overwhelmed here in the first period. On the power play, the Senators come into the zone. Now they've got their first unit on the ice. Tkachuk is in the middle. He lays it to the net, and it never gets to Stützle, which was the path of the pass, the intended pass. It goes off a Fowler and into the net.
Face-off win again for Ottawa. Shabbat trying to get it through, blocked by Fowler. Batherson scores! Drake Batherson has got the hat-trick, and it's 4-0 Ottawa.
And sometimes when it's your night, it's your night. He's covering for Shabbat, which is good defensive position by Batherson. He gets rewarded with the puck, fires it through traffic, a C&I puck, and Batherson's got himself a hat-trick. When you're down 4-0, it doesn't take much to ignite you. Referees aren't going to mess around. They're going to hand out 10s, and they're going to send anybody they think could be a problem to the locker room.
Well, and just the one penalty to Anaheim will give Ottawa the power play. Down to Drake Batherson. Batherson waiting across. Tkachuk scores. Great setup, and he taps it home. 5-0 Ottawa.
And the Senators take little time to get to the power play goal. Stützle draws everyone up. Two guys caught way too high. They leave Dumoulin all by himself. Did a pretty saucer, but it got over the top of Dumoulin, and Tkachuk was able to settle it in.
Ottawa takes care of business on home ice thanks to Drake Batherson's hat trick presented by AstraZeneca. Batherson is the third Senator in the last 10 years with a natural hat trick. and is now up to 12 goals on the year. That gives Ottawa 5 players with at least 10 goals, tying Tampa Bay for the most 10-goal scorers by any team this season. Johnny, we got to give Batherson his flowers. Have himself a night.
Natural hat trick, 100th career goal, 4-point night, big win for the Sens. Yeah, have yourself a night. And what makes Batherson such an interesting player for Ottawa is that people pay a lot of attention to Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle and Jake Sanderson, as they should. But Drake Batherson was a real priority for Travis Green coming into coach this year because everyone recognizes Batherson's talent. And even as is, he was already a high-level offensive player. But Travis Green thought there was more in his game. If he just tightened up on some of his details, if he focused a little bit more on his play away from the puck, all that offense will come along because he is so gifted, especially on the power play. You see 16 power play points. That kind of production is very impressive. And he clearly is absorbing the message and having his best year so far in the NHL and probably his best night ever in the NHL against Anaheim.
A night that he will never forget. All right, well, still to come, the Grade 8 was back on the ice with a familiar face on Wednesday morning. After the break, we'll talk about Ovi and Backstrom as we go around the league with Johnny. Don't go anywhere.
With every hat trick, AstraZeneca will donate $3,000 to the V Foundation for Cancer Research. The best offense is a strong defense. Get body checked against cancer.
Showcase Saturday. Young game breakers flex their skills. When Connor Bedard and Jack Hughes go head-to-head. Blackhawks, Devils, Saturday 1 Eastern on NHL Network Showcase.
Spend less time making cocktails and more time making memories. Introducing Bartesian. Premium cocktails at the touch of a button.
Get our best holiday deal now. Only at Bartesian.com/drinks.
Timeout, 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 timeout!
Listen up, get tight.
This is the most important timeout I've ever called.
Things are getting out of control out there.
And we need to regroup.
Hate.
Hate is winning out there.
Not on these fields.
In our communities. On our streets. In our schools.
And we need to stop it.
So let's take this moment
To change the momentum.
and call a timeout
On hate. Together.
Together.
It will always bring us together. It might even surprise us. But more often than not, it's a belief that no matter where you are, it's with you.
The wait is almost over.
This crowd is ready for hockey.
The world's best players take the ice to compete for their country. International Best on Best Hockey comes to Boston as Bruin stars Brad Marchand of Team Canada and Charlie McAvoy of Team USA compete to see which hockey nation will reign. Canada, Finland, Sweden, USA. The Four Nations Face-Off. Get your tickets today.
Welcome back to On the Fly. Well, this made Fans Day earlier today in D.C. when the Capitals posted a video to social of Alex Ovechkin on the ice working his way back from injury with none other than Nicholas Backstrom feeding him passes. It sounds like Backy was in the building at MedStar Capitals Iceplex. Ovi said, hey, I could use some help getting some passes. And it's the duo where there isn't one without the other. And Mike, yes, fans in D.C. were smiling ear to ear, but I think hockey fans were smiling. This is a duo that could bring back so many memories from around the years.
Yeah, some bad ones when I tried to defend the two of them. That looked very familiar. And the pass is nice and flat, right in the sweet spot. It reminds you of why they were so great together. A passer and a shooter, a centerman and a winger, a finesse, cerebral player and a bull in a china shop, and they just work so well together. And Nick Backstrom is an underrated great player. And so it was nice to see them back together. You know that friendship is something that will last for an entire lifetime between the two of them. And the chemistry on the ice was undeniable right from the beginning. And you can still see it even later. One in retirement, one coming off injury, still looks pretty good. But what's interesting about Washington this year is having a great year is that they found it's not really fair to compare anyone to Nick Backstrom because he is almost borderline Hall of Famer.
Yep.
But Strome this year is playing like Nick Backstrom used to play. And he has become Alex Ovechkin's go-to guy in the middle. Strome's piling up the points. He understands that his job is to be good defensively, to win faceoffs and get possession, to score when he can, but mostly set up his wingers, including Alex Ovechkin, for goals. And he's done an unbelievable job of it this year. He's been so good. A top 10 scorer in the league. He's assisted on 12 of the 15 that Ovi got before he was hurt. Their chemistry was so perfect. And even at Ovi's advanced age, he's sort of cycling through his second excellent centerman after Nick Backstrom. But Dylan Strome has become that for Alex Ovechkin. He has taken his game from what was a good, solid NHL, or maybe better than good, to really an elite level this year. And so much of it is that chemistry he has, like Backstrom, with Ovi.
Yep, as you said, you can't replace a guy like Nicholas Backstrom, but comparisons were drawn. Strome said he's golfed with Backy a time or two, asked him for some pointers working with Ovi. So the two are friends, and he gets some pointers from one of the best. Well, moving around the topics on the league, let's get to the Nashville Predators, currently riding an 8-game losing skid. They went through a transition this offseason, brought in a lot of new faces, trying to make things work. But, Johnny, right now it doesn't seem like it's going in the right direction.
No.
Where do they go from here?
It's fascinating because you have to be realistic now. We're 30 games into the year, so you have to look, okay, what are our chances of realistically making the playoffs? Okay, well, who are they going to catch in the Central? Mini? No. Winnipeg? No. Dallas? No. Colorado, new goalie? No. So they're maybe hoping for second wild card, maybe. They're at the bottom of the league, tied with Chicago. So they're not making the playoffs. So what are they going to do? Well, the most obvious thing when you're struggling is change the coach. What's interesting is they have a very good coach, a Hall of Fame caliber coach as the general manager. Barry Trotz working upstairs. Yes, he was with Nashville a long time, but he also was very successful at other stops in his career. And that is a viable option. Not one that Barry Trotz wants to use, but could he slide right downstairs if he had to make a change? Maybe. If they don't do that, do they decide to make changes on the ice? Then this is where they're going to go. Obviously, Gus Nyquist had a great year last year. Any pending UFA, you are going to get traded. That is the reality in Nashville this year. So Gus Nyquist will be going somewhere. But the guys with 1 year left on their contract, Sissons, Shen, Lauzon, all are very attractive players at pretty affordable prices that might be available to the highest bidder. And maybe, just maybe, Ryan O'Reilly, or a player of that caliber, if you want to make a massive change, then maybe you go down that road. But I think what the Preds have to do is in the next 10 days, by Christmas, they have to decide, okay, one or two routes. This was an off year. Obviously, it didn't work. We're not going to make the playoffs, but we still believe in sort of what we're doing. The coach we have, the group we have, and we're going to re-rack largely the same group next year, and it will be better because we believe it should have been better. Or you decide, no, we can't do that. We don't believe this group is right. Something hasn't worked right now. And then if they go down that route, which is probably where they're going to go, then one of those three things will happen, right? They're going to fire the coach. They're going to go make significant changes, or Barry Trotz is going to get more involved. Like, they have to decide, and they have to decide it soon, because just listing aimlessly for the rest of the year, that's not going to cut it. One of two roads. Which way are they going to go down? Okay, most surprising player for you this season. Okay, this is league-wide, but if you paid attention last year, it shouldn't be that big of a surprise. But Stoli, the goalie. In Toronto, Anthony Stolarz, an underrated free agent signing, won a cup with Florida as a backup to Bobrovsky. But you think about what he did last year on a per-start basis, was actually one of the best goalies in the entire NHL. And now he's backed it up as the sort of de facto number one in Toronto and is once again playing like one of the best goalies in the NHL. The big question is, for a guy who's never played 30 games in a year, can he do it for 45 games? Sustainability. Well, so far, what can you say? And his masterpiece so far for the Toronto Maple Leafs was against New Jersey on Tuesday night, because it was ridiculous how much better New Jersey was than Toronto. But Stolarz kept them in it. His shots the first period like 16-1, 17-1 in his hometown comeback. He's from Edison, New Jersey. But I think on a league-wide basis, if you did not know how good he was last year and how good he is again, get to know it now. He should be in the All-Star game, but there isn't one right now. He should be in the Four Nations face-offs. He might get picked anyways if there's an injury. He's been that great for Toronto, and people in Toronto are celebrating him. I was going to say, I'm sure he's taking photos. It's been a minute since the Leafs have really felt really great about their goaltending. Between Stolarz and Woll, they feel amazing about how good they have played so far. Stolarz has been a great story for the Leafs. All right, well, skill and creativity at an all-time high right now on the league, especially during games. What caught your eye from this week? All right, I'm watching some highlights, and I love when guys mix in what are fancy moves into games, because they're not fancy anymore. This is just what guys do. Now, here's Barkov in a shootout. He goes fake Marek Malik through his legs. Watch this. Like, he's going to go through his leg. Decord bites on it so hard, and he dumps it in the empty net. It is so smooth, it's almost hard to recognize. But Decord recognized, jumped out of the post. Watch Decord jump to the right. I got him. I got nothing. He's just so amazing at his breakouts, and he's done lots of cheeky stuff. Oh, yeah, we'll go to Forsberg, but we're going to upstairs. We're going to go backhand, forehand, open up 10-2. We're going to go, there's another fake through his legs. He's got all the tricks. Can you imagine? Goalie nightmare. Trying to stop this guy, 6'4". Good luck. massive reach, backhand is electric. He can do whatever he wants with. There's the drag move. But I love to see guys in big moments not be afraid to use skills that are just skills. They may have started as being fancy or creative or summer hockey, but they're not that anymore. So I thought that out of Barkov, that was pretty good. But even better, Nikita Kucherov. I call this the no move, good move. And we've seen it a few times. So he fake mishandles the puck and lets it slide towards the net and tries to go 5-hole. Now Skinner stops him on this one. You like that one. It's pretty slick. A little around the world, but you don't touch it on purpose. And it didn't work there.
But it sets it up.
But we've seen this work before. Oh, I'm sorry to do this to you, Robin Lehner. Oh, no. Same move. Let it slide there on purpose. All-Star game, Braden Holtby. Oh, no. The no move, good move. And I love it. So this is an All-Star game. There's a shootout. And he's trying to do it mid-flight, mid-action. It's just awesome stuff for Nikita Kucherov. We know he's got a world-class mind to go with the hands. And the confidence and the awareness to pull that off in the middle of a game with guys chasing, you don't have time. Brilliant stuff. Even if it doesn't work, I still love it.
Unbelievable. Best of the best of the National Hockey League. All right, coming up next, there were only 2 games on Wednesday night, but that won't stop us from handing out our 3 stars of the night. Don't go anywhere. On the Fly returns next.
I do think that this team finds a way to win this game.
Fun game to keep our eye on tonight.
I love what I do, which is help people make the switch to consumer cellular. Like our customers, Courtney and Jackie.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Consumer Cellular gives you access to a fast, reliable, nationwide network for up to half the cost of big wireless.
My previous provider was terrible.
Why are we paying this much for our cell phone bill? It's crazy, right?
Dropped calls or missed calls. To me, that was just normal.
We wouldn't get to talk to a person. Now with Consumer Cellular, no problems.
Our reception is so much better with Consumer Cellular. It's been amazing.
I just made a road trip across half the country, and I did not have one dropped call.
Better customer service. They tell me exactly what I'm paying and why I'm paying for it.
And here's my favorite part. You can save up to half on your bill.
It's within $1 of being half of my old bill.
With Verizon, I was paying about $150 a month. With Consumer Cellular, I'm paying about half that.
As AARP members, we get 2 lines for $55 a month.
I'm getting the exact same coverage for half the price. That's a beautiful thing.
Done deal.
We'll set you up with the best plan for you and help you wrap things up with your old provider. It all takes about 20 minutes.
Switching over took about 20 minutes. That's it.
Consumer Cellular customer service reps are A1, top notch.
They are so nice. You get a human being to talk to.
It's month to month, very simple. You're not locked in.
I got to keep my phone. I got to keep my number.
If you're thinking about switching providers, do it.
If I can do it, you can.
That's why I love Consumer Cellular. They've made it easy.
We'd love for you to enjoy our reliable nationwide coverage and the best customer service in the business. Give us a call now and start saving up to half on what you're paying now. It only takes about 20 minutes. Call 800-357-4227 to switch and save up to half with Consumer Cellular. Plus, for a limited time, new customers get their second month free when they sign up today.
At FanDuel, we know hockey fans don't just have a hunch. You have a hockey hunch. You could tell they're going to light the lamp before they do. You could see that assist coming a mile away. And you just know when your goalie is totally in the zone. So put your hockey hunches together for a same-game parlay. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
It will always bring us together. It might even surprise us. But more often than not, it's a belief that no matter where you are, it's with you.
Time now for our 3 stars of the night. Our first star goes to Adam Fox, who factored in on all 3 of the Rangers' goals in their 3-2 win and snapped his lengthy goal drought with an empty net. Linus Ullmark is our second star, stopping 31 of 32 shots in the Sens' 5-1 win, extending his point streak to 5 games in the process. And of course, you know where we're going. Without further ado, Drake Batherson is our first star who had 4 points and notched his second career hat trick, including his 100th career NHL goal. That'll do it for us on The Fly. I'm Alexa Landisroy for Mike Johnson and our entire crew here at NHL Network. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time. We'll leave you now with the best from Wednesday.
Those are some world-class pipes. Boy, he gets this building rocking early on. It's always been special here. Mahomes eats boneless wings with ranch. Now that's an insult. What's up? That's Deion Dawkins of the Buffalo Bills here in attendance. Oh, you get a good view of that right there. Zibanejad, and he scores!
Zibanejad's 300th career goal. Incredible.
Batherson scores! Drake Batherson has got the hat trick. Sometimes when it's your night, it's your night.